Hello and welcome to Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso. Please hit the subscribe button. And please hit the like button if you like the videos. Over 3,000 now, you guys. 3,000 subscribers. It's just... I've got a couple people that have told me that's pretty fast, considering it's like 2 months old. Four months old is the channel, but I didn't start posting real content on it until 2 months ago. But in the last, 10 days or something is the growth. And all I've really done is I put an advertisement out on Facebook about my legal service stuff, like convictinc.net. I don't know, but otherwise just maybe the interview I did with the sit down, Chad Marks pushing me. He's said some, good things about the channel, just different word of mouth, whatever. But whatever it is, I appreciate it, really. Sorry I didn't post yesterday. I had every intention to, did one, didn't like it, I had to talk to a few people about it because it's about the former national president of the Outlaws. And I was going to actually do that right now. I'm going to wait because I want to talk to one more person. Anyway, all right. So today I'm going to talk about November 7th, 2008. Now, for those of you who don't remember, and I hope I got that date right, I'm almost positive. That was the day Barack Obama got elected. Now, in the year prior to Obama being the Democratic nominee, in prison, as I said, I was in Butner. As I said before, I was with Carmine Persico a lot. This is the time when I was in Butner FCI 1. We watched the news every day, and a lot of people paid attention to politics. And I'm going to say something about Obama's victory towards the end of this, what I've seen, what I noticed in federal prison. I was really surprised that he beat Hillary, only because Hillary, it was like her turn and she was supposed to go, and that's how that whole political game, they usually play it out. My dad was into politics as a labor union leader, so I got to see behind the scenes on some of that. So yeah, I was surprised, as was my family members who were involved in political stuff. And I think my sister's actually a superdelegate, I think. But, okay, so in prison, you can imagine how it was Obama versus McCain. It was pretty much drawn along racial lines. Even guys who would be more inclined to think that Obama would let us out, so to speak, just didn't want him because he was a black guy, and that's the truth. A lot along racial lines as far as the beliefs. Not all, and especially in Butner, because Butner, people can speak a little bit more freely. I can imagine in some of the USPs, maybe not so much. I don't know. I wasn't there, honestly. So, Carmine Persico, he said there was no way that we'd see a black president in his lifetime, and he didn't even think in the next 20 years, to be honest. Bernie Madoff, pretty much the same. I remember conversations that we had about it, and I fully jumped in the Obama camp right before he finally became the nominee and took Hillary. One of the reasons I heard him speak about mandatory life sentences, and he was along the European model, meaning that there should be no sentence of life without parole. England, people, and I don't know if you guys have life without parole over there, I'm not sure, but the European norm, or the EU model, I should say, I think it's 20 years, but no more than 30. Now, they can hold you on psych reasons, I believe, but that's about it. But that's what Obama was talking about. And of course, me having a mandatory life sentence for drugs, that appealed to me. That, and I did believe that because of his age, because of his race, I thought it would be good for the country at the time. I'm not going to lie. But then along came Sarah Palin. When Palin came along, I'm going to tell you, that's when I had like my political awakening. I voted once in my life, and it was always just go for the D because of my family background. But Palin made me, even though she was who she was, goofy, silly, whatever you want to say, the simplicity of the message of the right, the conservative movement, it really started like resonating somewhere in here. And although I was torn and still wanted to see Obama win for selfish reasons, yeah, I started shifting my political beliefs to the right at that time. In the unit, Georgia Tech that I lived, was an old black man, like 92, in a wheelchair named Mr. Curry. Or he was 90 at the time, or 92, whatever. He was in World War II, and he was as racist as you come, as they come, I should say. Yeah, I can't recall being around a black person that hated white people so much. But you know, here's the thing: I didn't care. I did, honestly, and I had read a little bit about blacks during World War II in the military and some of the things that happened. And Carmine said how bad that Carmine said, you know, he would laugh because this is what Mr. Curry would do. He was in a wheelchair and he used to mumble and talk, you know, like under his breath a lot. So he'd roll away, goddamn cracker stick, you know. So and we'd hear him and we'd just bust out laughing. And Carmine would say, Robert, you know, that they had it so bad during the war, you know. So I didn't care what he believed. I talked to him anyway, and you know, I kept just doing it, and he'd talk back. Then we got computer systems, computer terminals, and you know, 90 years old, hell, I'm 52 and I'm still having problems. So at 90 years old, he was lost. So I used to help him. I put in all his addresses for him and stuff like that for it, you know, so he can get his labels for his envelopes. So what you have to do if you're going to mail a letter, you have to type in your contact. It has to be an approved contact, and you have to go get a mailing label. So I did all that for him. Then I taught him how to do computer messages and stuff like that. So we got to talking about politics one day, and you know, he used to go out there and watch the news, and he mumble under his breath, and he did not believe that Obama had a change. No, ain't this cracker country ain't gonna elect a black man. That's what he would say, you know, and yeah. He didn't believe it at all, but you know, obviously he wanted to. Most of the black dudes in the unit that watched TV were kind of silent on it. I mean, of course, you know, they're proud that Obama was running and all. So, but they didn't really have an opinion whether Obama was really going to win or not. So, all right. So November 7th, voting day. We actually made a spread on the table, meaning pizzas, crackers, salami, all that stuff, whatever. And sat down and watched the news, and the votes started coming in. And like always, normally, the first votes that usually come in are some of the red states. So if you're watching and you've never watched the elections before on TV, and you see this, I mean, you think it's over. And I remember right before everything started, Mr. Curry come and asked me, y'all gonna watch the election, you know, on TV? Because none of the other TVs wanted to watch it. And we said yes. So as he was watching, he saw the red states. Oh, he saw the red states come in, and he shook his head, and he used to wheel real slow, you know. Like, goddamn crackers gonna win it again. I knew it, you know. So he rolls off onto bed, and I walked over and said, hey, Mr. Curry, check it out. It's not over. It's just beginning. We've got hours yet, you know. And I try to explain to him this happens because I've watched a lot of elections, and I don't want to. Hell, I don't want to see. I know what's going to happen. I know ain't black man ain't got nothing coming in this country, you know. So he went into his bedroom and went to bed. As the night went on, actually it was called pretty early, I believe, if I remember correctly. Now you see one of the other TVs, which was the black TV, election went on because it looked like it was getting close. Now you see more black guys gathered around the TV, you know. And I remember looking over at Carmen, and I said, you know Obama's going to win this thing, right? Robert, I'm telling you, there's no way No way he's going to win this. So, all right. So you watched and you can see, and all of a sudden, boom, they announced Barack Obama, CBS is projected, blah, blah, blah. And all the black guys in our unit that were just jumped and screamed and were dancing. And I thought it was pretty cool. You know, I know there's guys on here that says, are you racist or this or that? And I've talked a lot about being white, white politics, white prison gang, this and that. And I've been definitely prejudiced, biased, partly because of the system, partly because of my upbringing, not around blacks much, Mexicans, yeah. But that was pretty cool to see. I'm going to say that. Now, I thought, wow. And then Carmine was just in shock. I said, I told you. He said, I'm telling you, there's a reason. He said, this country's fallen, and that they gave it to the black guy to just so they can blame the black guy. And man, that was right after the economy took a dive. So that's what he was basing it on. He said, Robert, go tell the old man. So I ran in. I said, Mr. Curry. He was laying in bed. I said, Mr. Curry. He said, what? I knocked, and he looks. I said, Mr. Curry. And he didn't say, come in. I opened the door. He said, what? And I said, Obama won. He said, what? What? I said, Obama won. Man, this old man, he had a hard time getting up. He got, are you kidding? You ain't lying. You wouldn't lie to me. You lie to me. And I said, no, come on. And I helped him, slinged him in his wheelchair. The doors were wide. Actually, that's not true. I helped him get it out because he had to get his wheelchair outside. And he went, I pushed him over, and I saw him look up at that TV, and I saw this old black man just break down in tears. And he held his hands, and he was just, crying. And I'm going to tell you, that was a hell of a scene. And what I was seeing when I was watching him is like, slaves. No, really, like this was all going through my mind, like slaves, like the whole transition of African Americans in this country all the way up to the president. And that's the truth. It was like this video in my head, just to like all the way up to see him, because he used to talk about being in the war some. Had to peel potatoes, scrub toilets. I didn't have nothing for no N-word, that's what he would say. And he just looked at me after he turned around. Some of the younger kid, I call them kids, I was in my late 30s. They were probably 30 and 20. Some of the kids came over and hugged him, and he turned around, he rolled over to me, he said, thank you. Thank you for coming to get me. And I said, yeah, no problem. And he put his arms out and gave me a hug. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a different video from the dope shooting, keeping point while somebody gets raped. That video, by the way, probably the most controversial one. I got to go back and watch it. I haven't, and because some people are putting comments. And anyway, but I know this isn't going to be the deciding and stuff. But this was, to me, it was a really, really memorable part of history, not only in America but in my life. To be able to be in federal prison and witness an old man that had been through that was something. And shortly thereafter, I hated Obama, but whatever, because he was just he didn't follow through on criminal justice reform like he could have. And I know people will blame Republicans. That's not true. He just wasn't a good enough leader to get it through, in my opinion. He had every ample opportunity to do it. That's my thing about him. But for race caused a lot of division, but in the long run, I think it's a better thing. Anyway, my opinion, nothing more. Maybe you guys won't like this video as much. And I think I'm going to do one more about somebody ODing.